People need to know how unprofessional we are.
I think they know.
Yeah, I think
With our schedule.
Yeah.
if they've made it to episode 3, they're aware. Welcome to Mike Talks Marvel. I'm Mike.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Ashley.
Sorry, we're in a different seating arrangement, just trying out some stuff.
Did that confuse you?
It did a little bit, yes.
You weren't ready for
I
it.
was not ready to be second guy.
Yeah.
Also, what helps is when you say the full title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mike Talks Marvel. Frankly, Ashley, we talk about a lot of things. I'm Mike.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Ashley.
That time I was the late one.
You were. I thought it was dramatic.
Yeah, it was a dramatic pause.
Yes.
I also have my prepubescent voice going on right now.
Yep.
Your sick voice.
Hey, I'm getting there, so don't worry.
If you've been following the podcast and we're maybe a little bit behind on the episodes, may seem like a not good starting point, but it's because it's October when we decided to start this. We've had some colds going on. You guys are cosplayers, and it's October, so
Yep.
you can figure out what that means.
Plus work.
And where we work is expanding, and we have a Halloween event and a Comic-Con event, so
And a game coming out.
so there's been a lot going on. Episodes might not be quite as frequent as they will be in November, but
As what?
as they will be in
Frequent.
November. As
Frequent?
frequent.
It sounded like fekin.
Yeah, well, I'm sick.
I understand.
So yeah, you understand? Like, sick was a good excuse for me to mispronounce a word.
Yes. I was gonna give you that, and
I appreciate
you
it.
took it away from yourself.
He's the title character. He can say whatever he wants.
Oh,
You can say anything how you want.
this is my first time being the title character. I didn't even realize it.
Are you sure you didn't realize
I
it?
feel like Johnny Depp.
Oh,
all right.
all
He's
right.
the title character a lot.
He is.
That's true.
Edward Scissorhands.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Wood. Pirate.
He is, yes.
Pirate of the
He
Caribbean.
is a
There's
pirate.
sharp things under this table. I'd be careful.
No, there's like 8 movies where he is, but I can't think right now.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
So let's talk about you guys for a minute.
Us.
Yeah, so you've been doing a lot of dressing up lately. You've been,
Yeah.
A little too much.
yeah, you were Maleficent today,
I was.
and I loved the pictures that you posted of it from the other day, and I would like to
Thanks.
put that with the show notes for this episode if you will allow it.
Absolutely.
Which day are you speaking of specifically?
I don't know. One of the days on Facebook.
Yeah, we've been overbooking. Yesterday, we went to King Richard's Fair for the Critical Role meetup because,
That's
as
awesome.
we all know, because we've listened to this podcast, we love Dungeons and Dragons and Critical Role.
Absolutely.
So we went there and spent the day with some wonderful people, and then decided it would be a good idea to come home, remove our costumes, and then put on more costumes that required face paint and contacts, and go out to some haunted house displays around Warwick. And that's what led to me being Maleficent today. They asked if I would go for their not so scary walkthrough, and so I've been in costumes non-stop for the past
Couple of
like
days.
Yeah,
48
you were-
hours. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
And then
Lots
you
of costumes.
came to my son's birthday party, and it was
Yes.
Spider-Man and Black Widow.
Yes.
That went really well.
It did, and he's a little shy boy, but he got over it.
He's
and
adorable.
he kept asking where Spider-Man went and where Black
Aw.
Widow went. Yeah. Yeah, he's a fun guy.
The best part about it was when he would go over to his stuffed animals. He'd go and grab one, give it to one of us, then immediately go back and grab one.
Yep.
And give it to someone.
Yeah, that's his way of saying, I'm too shy to talk to you right now. I haven't quite figured you out yet, but I like you, and I want you to have one of my friends.
Well, we got all of his friends.
Yeah. Well, you were very popular.
You got a good picture with that.
Yes,
Yep.
I did. I posted it on the
Yeah.
Mike Talks Marvel
That's right.
social medias, which, by the way, if you're listening, this is the 3rd episode now. Are you following us on the
Please
social
be.
medias? Because let me tell you what's happening on the social medias. On Facebook, nothing.
You're right.
But maybe something. I'll start posting on there more if you follow. Which, that's where we have the most followers, but it's the place that I'm posting the least, which makes no sense. Except for that I'm trying to get followers on the other ones. On Instagram, it's going steady, and it's all organic. I'm not like I'm gonna follow a bunch of people and hope they follow me back. I'm just posting stuff, and people are liking it and following me, and a bunch of comic shops are following me, probably because they're hoping that people follow me and then follow them and buy their comics. But that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And then on Twitter, we have maybe a follower, one follower, I think. And I've gotten 3 likes on tweets, 2 of which were from people that work at Marvel because I was tweeting at them. But they liked it.
At
so-
least they saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That, I think you're like glossing over that a bit. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I know. They didn't retweet me. They just liked it. But still, that's cool.
That's acknowledgement, though.
Yeah.
That's a first step.
That's true. That's
Like,
the first
Well,
step.
I mean, one of them had to
That's-
be CB, right?
No, CB ignored me. he has been tweeted at a few times now about Silk, and he has ignored me.
Our number 1 fan
I
of
know.
this podcast ignored you on Twitter. I have a hard time believing that.
Well, you know why? He's too busy listening.
You're right. To our 1 episode.
Yeah. Yes, he just keeps listening over and over and over again.
Until we put out the next one. I'm working on it.
It should be out, well, before this episode. Before you hear this. So, episode 2. There's 2 episode 2s, but only one of them will you hear.
We don't talk about that first episode, too.
Yeah, the first episode 2, maybe if we get a good following, we'll share it someday. Yeah. Which, by the way, we are getting a decent following. We've gotten more downloads than I expected.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we're not Critical Role or anything, but
Well.
we're doing pretty well for a first time. Not really
Critical
doing
Role
much.
played for
uh,
many years before they even
Post
Right,
one.
yeah.
so they were experienced.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the podcasting is just the long game. People don't like to jump into something on episode 1 because they don't know. They know a lot of podcasts don't last like more than 14 episodes. People try it out, don't really like it, stop doing it, realize no one's listening, and just stop. And I do the same thing when I'm looking for a podcast to listen to. I'm like, oh, this thing has 200 episodes. It's going to take me a lot of time to listen to when I get
Yep.
into it. I brought a game to play with you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
I hear
So-
it involves whiteboards.
Well, you're going to have to write down some answers. So here's
Yeah.
what this is going to be.
Oh.
Which is good
God.
for an audio podcast.
Yeah. I wrote down
lost my
on the first page of my notebook my Chinese food order.
Oh,
And on the second page,
Is that part of the game?
do we have to guess?
I wrote down 10 characters.
10 characters.
Yes. Some of them are real Marvel characters.
Oh boy.
Some of them I made up.
Oh, I hate
So
it.
I'm going to list these off, and you're going to tell me if they're real characters or if I made them up, and then we'll go through them.
All right,
Okay.
Number 1, Maggot.
go for it.
Number 2, Durkenstock. Number 3, Dr. Bong. Number 4, NFL Super Pro.
What?
Number 5, Twinklebird.
These are some good names.
Number 6, Dupe.
Dupe.
Number 7, Slapstick. Number 8, The Hootenanny.
The Hootenanny.
Oh my God.
Number 9, The Nanny. And number 10, Whizzer.
Okay. Now I have a question before we do any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an even split?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I got, but just want to make sure.
I haven't a clue what's going on.
Alright, so let's start with Maggot. Real or fake?
Real.
Correct.
Nice.
He has a digestive system that has been replaced by sentient maggots, which can leave his body to seek out nourishment.
What? So is he maggot or the maggot's the maggot?
Maggots are the maggots.
Ugh.
So is there a different body every time?
I don't know. Number 2, Durkenstock.
No.
Fake.
Definitely fake.
Okay.
Thank God.
Number 3, Dr. Bong.
Real?
You said real, you said fake?
Yeah.
It is real.
Nice.
To be fair, he's from Howard the Duck.
Oh, okay.
And he has a head shaped like a bell.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Bong.
NFL Super Pro.
No.
Real.
Real.
Why?
They
They
did a
did sports
cross
comics,
promotion.
right?
Yeah,
Why? I hate sports.
I think he was like a NFL football player who, on his way home one day, tried to save a kid, and of course daredeviled it and got radioactive waste on him or something.
Wow.
All right, number 5, Twinklebird.
Fake?
I said real.
Fake.
Can it be real? Because I really was hoping that was real.
Well, I
Maybe-
think you need to draw it now.
You can be Twinkle.
Twinklebird?
All right, I got an idea. To all of our listeners, comment on any of our social medias with what you think of the idea of a Twinklebird character, and we will pick one winner, and we will send them a drawing of a Twinklebird character made by Ashley.
Yeah.
You're in?
That's
Yeah.
good. I like
All right,
this.
cool.
You're contractually obligated now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys tell me who Twinklebird is as a superhero, what they do, like what their powers are. maybe
Yeah, that's a good
what
way to
you
do it.
think they would sort of look like if they have like a mask or anything,
Yeah,
and
vague
I'll
characteristics.
I'll kind of try to draw that up.
Yeah, so we'll go with like the description we like the best for
Yeah.
Twinkleberg. Cool. That's
I
a
like
fun
that.
contest.
Yes.
All right. So next is Dupe.
Yeah.
Real.
Is real. Yes.
Is it
He's,
a Deadpool thing?
He is in Deadpool, I think, too. He's in like the kind of X universe. He's in
Okay.
X-Men a little bit. This is one of the few characters when I was looking these up that I knew for real because
Does he look
I've
like a
seen him.
pickle?
He looks like Slimer from the
Okay.
Ghostbusters, just the green blob. Slapstick.
Real.
Real, indeed. He is a literal cartoon character. And he's also a Deadpool guy. He's
Okay.
in the Mercs for money a lot.
Oh, alright.
The Hootenanny.
Real.
Nope.
Oh.
Nanny.
Real.
I thought my brain said fake, but I wrote real.
Well, you're right. He is real. And you should look him up because he's probably on this list my favorite looking one.
Okay.
He's like an egg. He's just a big egg.
What?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, he's really weird. Wizard.
Real.
I put fake.
He is real. He is a speedy guy. His costume is yellow, which would be terrible for a guy named the Wizard.
Yeah.
And he got his speed powers from a blood transfusion with a mongoose.
He was in Jessica
I
Jones.
see.
Was
That
he?
guy was
Yeah.
one off.
Really?
I don't know if it was season 1 or season 2, but yeah, he was in Jessica Jones. It wasn't the costume or anything, but it was a guy who moved really fast, and he called himself the Wizard. And he...
Huh. The Wizard.
All right, how many did you get right?
Or you know,
I
I
got
watched
6
that show
right.
too, but I don't remember that.
I got 9 right.
I was one off.
Wow.
So I like messed up somehow.
I see.
Which
I
one
think
got
I
you?
got 6
the
right.
Hootenanny?
Hootenanny's the one that got me.
Yeah. I think the one you guys of my fake ones that you got the most was Durkenstock. You seemed to know
Yeah.
right away that was not real.
Yeah, no, that, I was like, definitely not.
I don't even know where that came from in my head. Durkenstock.
Durkenstock.
What would his character be?
I don't know. You tell
German?
me.
Like Doofenshmirtz, but like...
Like
German-
a German hippie?
Oh, see, I was thinking like a German soup man.
What?
Stock.
Like stock, like chicken stock.
Oh.
So he's got like ladles and soup powers, and he's German.
All right.
Do Germans have a famous soup? I
I
don't
guess
know.
that's just my Chef D&D character now.
Nice. Durken stock.
Durkenstock. So I went to the comic shop the other day, and they were having their 16th anniversary sale, and I bought a bunch of comics,
What'd you buy?
a bunch of old stuff. You know, in those, I'm sure you can find some good rare comics in those sort of sales, but I don't shoot for that. I just kind of look for things I like, you know.
Yeah.
So I picked up the first Champions #1 and a variant cover of it. It was a Venom variant, so it was just a cool looking, you know, the Champions team all as Venomized characters. Then I picked up an old school Miss Marvel. Just thought it was cool to have. It was like #3, I think, of the original Miss Marvel comic. What else was in there? There was some gems in terms of like the covers, you know, cover art, cool stuff. It was an X-Men comic from the 90s that I got with Sabretooth just destroying Wolverine. It's like a 90s comic, which is like the least valuable era of comics
Yeah.
because they mass-produced everything to ridiculousness. But it was, I remember having it as a kid, so I saw it and I was like, I gotta get this.
There you go.
Because I liked it, you know.
Yeah.
But I bought like 12 comics and it came to $17, so it was a
Wow.
real good sale. Yeah,
Wow.
it was fun.
Where'd you pick those up at? Time Capsule?
Yeah, Time Capsule,
Okay.
Cranston, yeah. Yep. I like that place. Rob's a good dude. The owner.
Yep.
We do stuff for them on Free Comic Day.
Yeah, you do the cosplay. He does a lot of those kind of events too, like the anniversary sales and like the flash sales where he just gets rid of all of his back stock, and you can find a lot of good stuff in there. I would have probably bought like $300 worth of comics if I didn't go right before I had to go to work. So
Oh my
I was
Yeah.
kind of
God.
looking in a
Well,
quick-
that was smart on your part.
that was why I did it.
Mm.
Yeah, I was like, I can't invest too much time in here because I
Yeah.
don't have the money for it.
Yep. I don't
That's
know
true.
if this is a fact, but I heard today that Maleficent already beat Joker for opening weekend,
Really?
which I freaking hope so.
That's cool. How was the first one? I didn't see it.
Phenomenal.
It was very good.
Yeah?
I think
yeah.
they should have done more Disney movies like that, where they showed it from the bad guy's perspective and kind of give it a little
Like
different
the
twist.
Wicked? Like Wicked?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Exactly.
When I was a teenager, I wrote a screenplay for a Friday the 13th movie that was going to retcon the whole thing and make it where Jason was actually framed through all of this.
Oh my god.
There was a cop in the first movie that had put it all on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was terrible, and there was, if you followed the movies, there was a billion plot holes that would make this a ridiculous concept.
I mean, the one.
But I was a
jumping
teenager, and it was fun.
The one jumping out at me is the first movie. It's not even Jason who does it.
Right, it's his
It's
mom.
his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one is that, in almost every scene they show Jason doing it.
Yeah.
So it didn't work. But it was fun. It was fun to write as a teenager. It made sense in my head then.
Did you watch all those movies?
Yeah.
Did
Oh, I used to watch them, like, marathon them and then go back to back to back to back. It was like when the DVDs first became like a big thing. It was one of the first box sets I bought. It had like the side of all the discs made one big Jason hockey mask.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Did you like Jason X?
Here's the thing. I'm a big like horror movie guy, and sometimes the worse the horror movie is, the more I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I like it? Yes. But it's because it was so bad that I liked it.
He's in space. Although it is a hokey movie, they have a really cool kill in that movie where he takes a woman's face and puts it in like the cryo freeze water, and her face freezes, and then he smashes it on the table.
And it shatters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Like, that's a super different, awesome kill that you wouldn't have got out of the original Friday the 13th.
That had to be like a Mortal Kombat inspired
Yeah,
kill.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what those movies just ended up becoming, was just like, how inventive can we make the kills at this point? Because there's
Yeah.
really nothing else original that's going to happen in this, except for let's throw them in space.
Yeah, a lot of horror movies did that, like, oh, where can we take these characters? One that jumps out at me is Leprechaun.
They did a space with them, too.
They did Space, they did In the Hood. I think
Mhm.
Back in the Hood, they
Mhm.
did too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they made ridiculous movies and then just said, how much more ridiculous can we make it? You know what's cool? I think it was like probably like part 3 or 4 of, what was the series with the where they escape death and then each one
Oh,
starts
Final
out-
Destination.
Final Destination, yeah. Like the third or fourth one of that had a DVD feature that was a little bit choose your own adventure, where you could watch it regular, or you could watch it with this feature, and it would just stop right before someone died, and then it would say, how do you want them to die? And it would have two
Oh,
options, and you
jeez.
could pick a different
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
Yeah. That was a fun little way to do a horror movie.
I like that whole series, except for the fact that the second movie makes me afraid to drive behind trucks with the logs
in
on
it,
them.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even have to see that movie or know about it to be afraid of that.
It just
Like, I feel like everyone should be nervous about that.
it just heightened the fear.
Okay.
Have you seen The Descent?
No, I haven't.
The spoiler alert opening scene of that has a similar thing where the family's just driving and there's a truck in front of them and then it hits a bump and you just see this pole go through two of the people in the car.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. That's the like opening of the movie. It's
Jeez.
not even what the movie's about.
Oh, no.
What's a series you think should have died way before they did? Horror movie series.
Michael Myers? Halloween?
You know what's weird about Halloween? Everyone rags on 3 because it's the one without Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it deserves it. It's bad, but I love it. Like, I love it because it's so stupid. Have you seen it?
With the masks
Yeah.
from the TV show,
Yeah.
watching people, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, the whole idea when they did that was that they were going to do a different series for every Halloween. It was going to be a different movie. They did Michael Myers for the second one because it was, like, you know, just to start things off. And then the third one was going to be something different. And the fourth one was going to be something different. And, like, I wish that worked.
Yeah.
What if the third one was a really great concept and then they continued doing that and we'd be on like Halloween 40 now and it would just be a different movie every year. This is we made a mistake here because this episode 3 is probably going to come out right before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
This should have been our Halloween episode.
Should have been. Should have, would have, could have.
Well, I mean, we're kind of doing it. We've retconned the episode.
We've retconned it, yes.
Yeah.
We're starting over.
All right, everyone, pause. Welcome to Mike Talks Marvel's marvelous Halloween episode, featuring me, Mike, and my minions.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Ashley. I'm a psychopathic killer. They sound just like everybody else.
Hey,
Right.
I got that reference.
The most important thing to do when you're editing this is keep that where it was.
Absolutely. You know I was going to do that.
Yeah. You can't fix
No.
People need to know how unprofessional we are.
I think they know.
Yeah, I think
With our
they've-
schedule.
Yeah.
if they've made it to episode 3, they're aware.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear.
So tell us a spooky pirate fact, Ashley.
I don't have any pirate facts today. I gave them all to you last week, but I do have a this day in video game history fact.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so it seems like, there's a lot of video games that came out on this day throughout the years. The only notable one that I actually played was Fable 2, in which, for those of you who have played Fable, you would know that your kingdom has come upon some hard times, and when people come and ask you for help as the ruler, you have to turn some people away, because if you don't and you say yes to everyone, you will go very broke and your town will die. And that's what I did, because I didn't want to say no to helping anyone. So my entire town died and I was very upset about it. But yeah, Fable's a great game series, so that came out. But also, more importantly, on this day in 2000, Rock, Scissor, Paper, Spock, Lizard, Spock, what?
Oh, from Big
The
Bang
Big Bang
Theory.
Big
Theory?
Bang Theory, yeah.
Apparently, there's a browser version of that you can play,
Really?
and that was released on this day in 2000.
In 2000?
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory's been on for that long?
That can't be right.
Yeah, Rock, Paper, Scissors, Spock, Lizard. Browser version was released on October, today the 22nd?
Today's the 20th.
The 20th. October 20th.
Not when they're listening to it, though.
They don't need to know. But yeah, it was released on this day in history, and it's just a really, no offense, crappy looking browser game
It
where,
looks like a cassette player.
right?
Like a deck, yeah.
Like you choose Rock, Paper, Scissors, Spock, or Lizard, and then it shows what your competitor does and whoever wins, and that's literally all it is. And I was like, wow, that's
boring.
isn't it?
That's incredibly boring.
Mm-hmm.
I played Fable 3. That's where I jumped in on the series. I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Now, do you recall if there was a quest with evil gnomes? They weren't evil, but they, were insulting. And, this guy, all his gnomes came to life, and they were hiding, around the place, and anytime you'd get close to one, it would, say insulting things.
That sounds right.
Okay,
That
maybe
sounds like
I did
something
play
like- There was
Fable
a lot
3.
of goofy things in there like that.
That is the one quest that I vividly remember, is the gnome quest, where, they tell, yo mama jokes and stuff like that, and we would just sit there and listen to what the gnome had to say.
That sounds like something
Very
that would happen.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. But, so that's today in video game history, and, as far as new games go, they released a Blair Witch game recently, and it was it was a trip. I didn't play it personally because I don't like scary things, but I did watch someone play through it, and it was very confusing.
Confusing in a good way, or?
I
think
enjoyed
so.
it very much so. I've never seen Blair Witch, so I'm
Oh, well,
not
that would-
sure.
Yeah.
I know there's a video camera
It's
and
not
stuff.
quite the same as the original movie.
There was the camera, the video camera, but if you rewinded the camera when you were pointing it at a certain thing, it would rewind in real time as well.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
if there was debris falling
Mm-hmm.
and you held up the camera and rewinded it, the debris would go back. And essentially, the story of it was, like I said, it was very confusing, but there was this soldier character, an ex-police officer soldier, clearly dealing with PTSD and stuff, and as you go through the woods, you find these notes and pictures, and it makes you wonder, are all these notes about this character that you're playing as? And it is very deep, I suppose. You'd really have to pay attention to figure it all out.
See, that movie The Blair Witch Project is one of like the most polarizing movies in horror when you talk to horror fans. Like it's either loved or hated, like really, really hated. And I don't think that it deserves it. So you guys are probably too young, right? But like, were you old enough when that came out to know what they were doing there?
I
I
don't
knew
think so.
of it. I knew it existed, and I knew it was a horror movie that a lot of people were terrified of.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until my like late teenage, early 20s years where I truly like kind of got into what it was about and how it was made and stuff like that.
Yeah, because see, what I think's cool about it is it kind of is credited as the first found footage movie, but it's not. It was towards the beginning for sure. It certainly popularized it, and I think that's why a lot of people hate it, because that style of horror has really kind of worn out its welcome. But what was really cool about it is when it came out was really when the internet had just kind of broken into like every home, and that was like they viral marketed amazingly. Like they came up with websites that told the story of this character and the Blair Witch and all this stuff, and it was all fiction, but it made it seem like it was real. And there really were these tapes and stuff, and so many people bought it. I don't know how you would be that dumb to buy it, but it is the internet, and they were the first ones that like in popular culture to really take advantage of that. So when the movie came out, like there were tons of people who didn't know that if they were seeing a real movie or not, which is dumb, by the way, but really cool for them to like capitalize on what culture was at that point with technology.
Yeah, I know people who thought it was real, even to this day.
Really?
Yeah. I've worked with people.
You should
like
watch
that.
it, and then you'll be like, what? Or you have seen it, you said,
I
right?
have seen it. Yeah, it's very boring.
It is. It really, I mean, I thought it was really intense when I saw it, because there really wasn't anything like that yet.
Right. Looking back at it now, though.
Yeah, it doesn't stand the test of time at all. And that's what I think the found footage thing has really struggled with, is being able to stand the test of time with, now that we have better technology for cameras and everything, and it's hard to make it work, I think. But at the time, it was really cool just to see that, I don't know, because it was like so raw. Like everything you watched in the horror movies was so sensationalized, or just like had bad makeup effects or whatever, and there was like blood spurting everywhere and nonsense like that. But this was just this raw like camera in the woods, and you felt like you were in the woods, and that alone was kind of an uneasy feeling. So, what's your favorite Halloween movie?
Oh no, that's such a hard question.
And then I'm going to turn it into a Marvel question.
I'm gonna say mine, because no movie puts me more in the Halloween mood than Hocus Pocus. But a close runner-up is Nightmare Before Christmas. From October to December, you can watch it a million times. Any time between those two dates, you could just put it on and it fits. It works.
Yeah, people argue if it's a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie, but why
Both.
not both?
It's
It's
just
quite literally both.
an end of the year movie.
Yeah.
I think it should be celebrated for 3 months.
Yeah, yeah. I read that people have always like come up to him and been like, "You're gonna make a sequel to Thanksgiving," and he's like, "No, that would just make it. So it's got to be what it
don't
is."
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did make a video game though that was a sequel.
Really?
Yes, and it's the only direct sequel.
Is it Oogie Boogie's?
I think so. It's for like the PlayStation.
That was released on this day in like 2004 or something.
Bonus Halloween Ashley fact.
Alrighty then.
For PlayStation 2.
Yes, PlayStation 2.
Yes. This is a hard question, only because I didn't watch Hocus Pocus growing up. I refused. Didn't watch Nightmare Before Christmas.
Wait, hold up.
Mhm.
You love Nightmare Before Christmas. You're wearing Nightmare Before Christmas leggings.
Yep.
You are wearing them right now.
How long ago did you watch Nightmare Before Christmas for the first time?
I want to say I was probably no younger than 13.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
And then I first saw Hocus Pocus when I was like 18 or 19. So, only
That's-
a few years ago.
That is surprising.
I want to chime in on this too, because I had seen Nightmare Before Christmas like relatively shortly after it came out on VHS or whatever it was back then, but then never watched it again until 3 years ago.
Really?
I did not like it the first time, and now I love it. I love it, and I like it. There are certain things where like the hype ends up like it becomes one of those cult classic-y things, and I just refuse to ever like give it another chance, because I'm like, I don't understand why people like this, and that's it. And when I watched it again 3 years ago, I wanted to hate it because I've just hated the fandom around it, I guess.
Okay.
No, I don't hate the fandom. I like everyone should enjoy their own thing. I never like. By the way, I want to talk about that for a minute. I'm going to go off topic and do a little rant here.
Okay.
Because I was reading the thing today for the Disney Plus, like they had a Facebook thing, and they just said Disney Plus coming out, and this guy's like, no thanks, you don't have anything I'd watch. I'm going to keep Netflix. And I'm like, dude, I don't like Madonna's albums, but I don't go on her social media to tell everyone that because I'm not an amazing bore.
Oh my god.
Why do people do that?
I know.
Let people enjoy stuff. Like,
I know.
if people want to enjoy something, let them enjoy it.
Like, nobody wants to know your opinion on what you don't like.
Exactly.
Like,
yes.
go to the things you do like and leave these people alone.
So if I don't understand why people like something, I'd keep it to myself. But that was something I was ready to keep to myself. I want to hate this movie. I'm going to keep hating it. But it's so delightful.
Well, that was me with Hocus Pocus. I didn't not watch it. I refused to watch it.
Yeah.
Growing up, my cousin loved Hocus Pocus, and I was like, that's stupid. I had never even seen it. And I was like, that's dumb. Which I still do that occasionally. But I would never watch it. And then when I did, I fell in love with it. I love Hocus Pocus. However, if I had to say my favorite Halloween movie, I would have to say that it would be Halloween Town. I love Halloween Town.
I have never watched that, and I wanted to, actually. It was like a Disney movie from like 8 years ago, right?
Yep, there's 4 of them.
8 years ago.
No? Longer?
I believe the first one came out in 97.
Oh, okay.
I think 97.
Was the first one.
That's a lot more than 8 years ago.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them.
Unless that's when we recorded this episode.
Well.
8 years after 97.
You're right.
Out of the 4 movies, the first one's like a classic, so I guess that one would be like my favorite, like get in the Halloween spirit movie. But out of the 4 of them, Halloween Town High is my favorite. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Lucas Grabeel is in it, but I love Halloween Town. I mean, I now live and breathe Hocus Pocus.
No, I like the fact that both of you talked about how something was so popular that you just didn't want to like acknowledge it. Because growing up, I didn't realize how popular Hocus Pocus was. I didn't realize how popular Nightmare Before Christmas was. Yeah, I saw people with merchandise, but I saw people with sports and other merchandise out there for things that they like. I didn't like hear people like rave about these things. I just talked to people about them. But I grew up watching all the kids networks and Disney especially. I liked with the original movies. So every year, when a holiday came up, whether it be Halloween or Christmas, I would go through the different kids channels. I'd watch all my favorite stuff over and over again because every year, you got your Hocus Pocus, you got your Nightmare Before Christmas, and the cartoons, the Cartoon Network. I think they would do spookier episodes of shows for Halloween, and they do the wintry episodes for Christmas. And like Frosty and Rudolph and all of the other reindeer are all things that are like so ingrained in like my psyche, I guess, because every year, you'd be in school and then it starts to get close to holiday break, and what are you going to watch? You're going to watch all your favorite holiday specials just over and over again because they vomit them out at you. So I never saw anything as popular, which is crazy to me that you guys both mentioned how popular things were. Because I didn't see it as popular. I saw it as something that's like, every year this is coming on, I'm watching it. Just like every St. Patrick's Day on Disney Channel, Luck of the Irish is coming on. I don't know if that's a popular movie or not. I don't care if it is because I have a good time watching it.
Yeah, no, I get that. And that's the thing is, like, there's certain things when they're popular and I just don't want to like them, but then there are other things that are popular and I'm just happy to be a part of that popularity. Like, when I was a kid, I had this, like, 8-hour-long VHS tape of all the Christmas cartoons, like Garfield's Christmas and Scooby Doo, and it was recorded off TV, so it had all the commercials.
Yes.
So like up until like I was 32, I would watch that every Christmas because I wanted to watch the commercials because the commercials were all Christmas themed too.
Yes.
There was like a Ronald McDonald commercial where they're all ice skating and Birdie falls and they help Birdie up and it's delightful. It's goddamn delightful. I almost consider that a Christmas special itself.
No, I like that because commercials, as a kid, commercials were more important, I guess, to me because you would see them more. But now, like in the age we live in, with Netflix and streaming and stuff, you don't get much commercials. You get like ads for things, but you don't get commercials.
Yeah.
You don't get the spectacle of like a big commercial, except for during the Super Bowl, which I only watch the Super Bowl for the commercials.
Half
Yeah.
of them aren't even that
They're
good.
not even good
anymore.
anymore.
Not
yeah.
anymore, no.
They're not.
I watch it
They
for
used to
movie
be.
trailers.
Yes.
But
But
Yeah, movie trailers are awesome.
the commercials used to be so good. In every freaking Christmas, you got the M&M's commercial, which is much older than I real.
sorry, I'm reaching for a cupcake. It's very
You're
important
gonna hear
to
that
me.
noise coming in a minute.
Yep, ready? Let's
Ready?
do some ASMR quickly.
No. I hate this already.
Cupcake.
I'm gonna cut all of this out.
Put that in there.
You better not.
You better keep that in
I
there.
did ASMR.
Yeah, the cool thing with that VHS too was that, so these were all things I was watching as a kid, and all of the commercials were geared towards kids because they were the Christmas specials. So it'd be a commercial for the G.I. Joe that I wanted as a kid. So it's cool to watch that because I'd remember as a kid I'd be like, yes, I want the G.I. Joe General. It would be amazing if like 5-10 years from now, for nostalgia effect, they come out with a streaming service of commercials for all the old people like my age that are
Oh my
old
God.
people now who miss commercials. And it just shows like old classics, It's like the TV land of
Yes,
streaming
yeah.
services.
They should, yeah, just because no one's gonna watch a TV channel of all commercials, because
Right.
that's just QVC.
Right, yeah.
Hey, my dad loves QVC, Frank.
And more power to him.
And then they can have segments though, like it's Celebrity Hour where it shows like all the old commercials of famous people's like starting off commercial,
Yeah.
Like Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think, started off in a Burger King commercial. And
Can we do this? Can we start this?
God.
I think we have a $1 billion idea. Quit this podcast bullshit. Let's start our own commercial streaming service.
Now, do you ever find yourself singing along to a commercial and you don't realize it?
I find you doing
Because
that.
apparently I do that.
I probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I singing along to?
There was it was a pull
A diapers commercial.
Yeah.
And Frank just was looking at me when I looked up, and I was like, "What?" And he was like, "What?" You were like, "How often do you hear this?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, the commercial," and I was like, "Oh, did I sing it?" And he was like, "Yeah."
The best part
And
about
I could not sing it right now if you asked me to, so I don't know how.
Like it just popped in your head.
I guess so.
it was playing.
It was on the
And
TV.
Oh, okay.
She just, without looking up, without changing expression or tone,
Like it just absorbed into her brain and
sang
out of her
along
mouth.
to it, and I was like looking at her to see if like she was looking at me because like maybe it was like a joke thing. No, the knowledge was in her brain in that moment, and her motor skills went on autopilot.
All right.
And then she didn't even realize she did it. which was-
Apparently, I hear the commercial
surprising.
quite often and know it, but
See, I'll do that with commercials that are 10 years old. Like I didn't just hear it. Like I'll just start singing, and I'm like, where the f*** did that come from?
There's some gem commercial songs though. The one coming to my brain that's like always good is the Crossfire commercial. You ever see that game, Crossfire?
Crossfire. Yeah, that was like a. Don't tell me because I know that game. Was it a like reverse Hungry Hungry Hippos
Yes.
where you shot balls at each other?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do you guys hear that? There's a bat fact in this room. Oh, he brought me a fact, a movie fact. What? The original Halloween movie took place in Haddonfield, right?
Mhm.
But it was shot in Hollywood, in
Mhm.
Pasadena, and all the leaves that are in the yards, they had to bring those in because there was no leaves on the ground. All the stereotypical fall leaves. They would take trash bags with all the leaves, just dump them on the yards, and then they'd have to pick them all up, make sure they got them all, and then clean it up. And then if they needed to keep filming, just throw them all back out. So they imported these leaves to make it feel like more of a fall-y
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting fact.
That is an interesting fact. I thought you were going to throw the classic, the Mike Myers mask is
Kirk?
actually William Shatner. Yeah. So I'm glad you didn't. Because I would have said, boo. Give me something everyone doesn't know.
Yeah, and I'm sure people do know this fact, But I learned this in college because we had to do presentations for a class. Like, it just taught you how to do presentations and public speaking.
On leaf removal.
Oh, wait. Is that another bat fact coming in?
Oh, is that a second bat?
Oh,
fact?
Hey
wait.
guys, wait a minute. This isn't Mike Talks Marvel. These aren't bat facts. They're spider facts, alright? That still fits the Halloween theme.
No, yeah, but spiders don't make... Oh, no, wait, it's a bat carrying a spider. Look, do you see it?
Oh, I do. It's hanging from the web. Oh, okay, I'll grab that. Oh my god, guys. Apparently, it's International Sloth Day.
What?
That's crazy
How
because
does that get in here?
I love sloths. Let's talk about some sloth facts.
I want to hear some sloth facts.
She's
Alright.
got a plethora of sloth
So,
facts.
did you know that the two-toed sloth... Well, first of all, let me start by saying that sloths only come down from their trees to use the bathroom, like, once every something.
Maybe once a week, I think.
I believe it's once a week, but I don't want to say that without being positive, because then someone will be like, no, it's like once a month. But anyway,
Roughly once a week.
roughly once a week.
Possibly.
So when two-toed sloths come down to use the restroom, they do like a weird twerk dance before they're able to use the restroom. Three-toed sloths do not do that, but yeah, two-toed sloths do. And I would love to see that sometime.
Doing a little dance. A
Yeah.
little potty dance.
That is a good fact.
Yeah.
I have something that
Alright.
really grinds my gears.
Okay.
Now, was this brought to you, presented by a bat?
Yeah. This
Oh,
was
there he goes.
this just in.
Goodbye, bat.
Spider on a bat fact. Have you heard about this whole Martin Scorsese and Coppola?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what you just said to me.
All right, so Martin Scorsese, great film director. He made a lot of movies I really enjoy. The Departed, Goodfellas,
Raging
Gangs of
Bull.
New York. Yeah, just a bunch of good stuff. He came out and said that Marvel movies are not cinema; they're more like amusement parks.
Huh.
Or the amusement parks of movies, basically. And he sort of backtracked on it a little bit once it became a controversial thing. And he sort of said, you know, there's different types of movies for different types of people, which I can respect. And I want to say, everyone has the right to their opinion on liking and not liking stuff, but we already kind of talked about how I feel about shut your mouth when you don't like something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then Coppola comes out and says, not only was Scorsese right, he should have been more honest and said that they're despicable, because they're despicable. And I just want to say, and then he says, movies should make you think and do this and blah, blah. Which, first of all, who's to say that those movies don't do that for people? That the Marvel movies can't make people think and do, you know, have all these kinds of things. But, like, you don't get to define what a movie is. There's a definition for it, and it has to do with moving pictures, and that's about the extent of it. What everybody else likes is what they like, and that's what a movie is. I'm so sick of people always trying to tell everyone what something is, or what makes you a true fan, or what you goddamn like, and ignore the stuff you don't. Unless it's like racism or stuff, and then don't ignore it and get rid of that.
Yes.
See, what I like about Marvel movies is you can think into it and all that stuff, or you can just go sit and watch it and enjoy it, and you don't have to think into it.
Yeah, you can put as much thought into the movie as you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's a really good answer to that question? They're not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because there's a lot of things that aren't for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to be for a lot of people, though.
Yeah. There are things out there that won't be for you. There's things out there that won't be for me.
Yeah.
There's things that won't be for Ashley.
Yeah.
And the differences in our tastes make us us. And if we all like the same things, then what's the point of making anything?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that I just don't understand why people like it. But maybe I'm not old enough yet, because it seems to be like an old person thing, even though I am an old person and out of touch with a lot of like new music and stuff like that. I'll listen to it like, what the hell is this? I don't get it. But I'm not at that point where I'm like, music is ruined. And that's what I don't get. People who are like that. Like cinema, if you don't like where it's at right now, it's going to change.
Always.
Always. It's always going to change. It's like, I love where it's at right now. In 10 years, it'll be a little bit different. Maybe I'll like what it is. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But it'll be fine. I'll still have my movies to watch from before. And it's the same thing with music. It doesn't matter if I like what's playing right now. People do. I'm not going to say it's not talented. That's another thing. I think there's this weird... People think I don't like it means it sucks, and that's not necessarily true. Radiohead can't really get into their new music. They don't suck. They are super ridiculously talented. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's just not for you, and that is okay.
Yeah.
You are allowed to not like something, and if you can't even put like a finger on why you don't like it, you just know you don't like it, that's okay too. But to just discredit something because, oh, I don't like it, that's a whole different ball field. Like, oh, this isn't music. I don't like it, so it's not music. Okay, do you like Beethoven? Because a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
But that's music 100%.
Yeah.
There's different things for different people to like.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be that way.
Yeah.
Just like there's different podcasts out there for different people to like. There's, sports podcasts and movie and film podcasts. And there's
Mike Talks Marvel.
Mike Talks Marvel's in there somewhere. And you've
Number
got,
one podcast on CB's iPod.
And you just got something out there for everyone. You've got podcasts that tell a story. You've got podcasts where it's just real people just talking to an audience or talking to each other.
I have a podcast problem where I'll be like, you know what? I love trivia. I'm going to start listening to trivia podcasts and then listen to Triviality, by the way, is my favorite podcast. You can try to check that one out as well.
I hear it's
I'm going to
very
be
good.
on their Halloween episode that's going to be playing this week if we release this on Halloween, if we plan to.
Hey.
Yeah, so check out Triviality.
Put
They're
that
a
link
great show.
in the notes.
I will, yeah, because it's 4 dudes. They're really awesome. I'm not friends with them. I just said I was on their show. Like I don't know them in real life. I'm just a big fan, and they like to hook up their fans and have them on the show and stuff. So I'm gonna be on for Halloween. So check that out. But then back to the topic. Then I'll be like, I love history too. So then I start listening to history podcasts, and I find 50 of them that I love, and I'm listening. And then you know what? I want to get back to the Marvel stuff, so I'm listening to Marveling and Marvels. And then I have all these podcasts that I've listened to 80 episodes of and no more. But I want to keep listening to them. I just don't have time.
You keep adding new things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And my favorite podcast is Mike Talks Marvel, which I've been listening to a lot.
Ash, tell us about all the podcasts that you love.
Critical Role.
What about Mike Talks Marvel? You're on it.
She
Never
hasn't
heard it.
listened to it.
Listen, I have a hard enough time keeping up with Critical Role, which I don't even listen to in podcast form.
There was another podcast that you like.
Welcome to Night Vale.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh,
Sorry, I haven't listened to Night Vale in at least a year. I'm so sorry, but
But you
I
do like
listened
it.
to Night Vale for a solid 5 years straight, religiously, and I loved it. It is the weirdest thing. I don't understand it, but it's fantastic.
And it's still a podcast.
None of it makes sense. It's just all gibberish and it's fantastic.
It's its own universe. It's not telling you a story from this
Yeah.
world. It's a...
Yeah, it's just weird.
How would you describe it? A radio broadcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
like
tried
Arby's,
listening to
isn't
it,
it?
but I didn't start from the beginning,
Oh, okay.
so I had
Well,
no idea
You
what was
really
going on.
don't need to, though, because
I
every
jump
episode's the same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is an overarching
there
story.
is a story, but it's
It
You know.
seemed like I had no idea what was going on. Maybe
Yeah.
that's just how it is.
It's
Yes,
very weird.
It is like that,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Like
You know what
podcasts is.
doesn't work? 3 people in a room who just rant.
about random shit.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes our podcast give it a little character. Because our subject material hasn't come out yet.
I mean, hey, yeah, we've
Yeah,
only
this is,
just
like-
started.
We should probably let everyone know that. We're really shooting for like the Disney Plus and the Marvel movies and that kind of thing. This
So
is
far,
all
it's been-
introducing.
It's been
this
like
is just-
word vomit.
Yeah, we're just having fun. We're getting to know each other better in
I think
terms
these-
of how we're going to talk on the show.
Yeah, these first 3 episodes are really like us feeling out how to speak on a podcast.
Yeah, shooting the You
Yeah.
guys getting to know us a little bit, being silly.
Getting better at not speaking over each other, which we still do.
Yeah, that's always going to happen.
Yeah.
I feel like this episode has been very short on Ashley.
You can't talk over each other if you don't talk.
Oh.
That's not what I'm doing. But
We haven't talked about enough stuff that has her opinions.
I've also
Yeah,
been
yeah.
going for 48 hours straight with
Yeah,
contacts and
yeah.
costumes, and I'm very tired.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's also
Oh,
part of it.
God, the bat with the spider is back. Oh,
And he left me a message.
what did, he left? Oh, okay. He left you a message, I guess.
Yeah, he did. Haha, stole that one right from you.
All right.
And I'm stealing from Ashley, too, because it's a spooky pirate fact that I have to
Okay.
deliver. Did you know that Blackbeard would light his beard on fire before battle because the smoke gave him a demonic appearance?
Yes.
I didn't know it's because he gave him a demonic appearance, but I knew about that because of epic rap battles of history.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And I knew that because
You
I
know
know
everything
things about
about
pirates. And they also did it in that fantastic movie on Stranger Tides with Blackbeard and his daughter.
Did they? Wow, my fact was like lame, man. Real far reach there, Mike, into pop culture.
I mean,
Yeah, but not a lot of people like that fourth Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
It's true.
I know it'll probably be like a week after Halloween, but I have some pretty insane facts about female pirates, and
Yeah.
they were savage. They did some awful stuff to people.
List them off.
What, like Anne Bonny, and I mean everyone knows Anne Bonny. She's like super well known, and then her partner in crime sort of was Mary Read. But like I was recently reading a couple weeks ago about
Everybody knows those two people I never had heard of.
Yeah, maybe you should give them
Well-
a little.
if anyone knew anything about pirates and they said name 2 female pirates, it would be those 2.
Madam Chang.
Well,
From
it's
Pirates?
Mistress Ching, but that's okay. Like,
You tried.
I read about a lot of female pirates that I had never heard of, and just the things they used to do to people, I was like, wow. I'll have to try to find that article again. It was on a Facebook page for the Golden Age of Piracy that I follow, and they post some pretty good articles, but yeah, pirates were brutal.
Well, you just gave me an idea for a theme for our next episode.
Is it pirates?
No.
Oh, we
What?
could talk like pirates,
It's
though.
celebrating women. So we'll talk about female pirates. We'll talk about female comic book creators and characters. We'll talk about female
Filmmakers.
filmmakers. We'll talk about all that. We'll get into the women.
You're gonna upset some sensitive men.
I want to do that because sensitive men on that topic are stupid. And
Should be listening to our podcast.
yeah, because like I really want to get more listeners and grow this podcast, but not those guys.
Gotta
No.
weed them out.
I will gladly never make another podcast again than have those on there. Because there's a lot of really cool women out there creating
There
awesome
are.
stuff.
Yes.
Let's talk
Female
about 'em.
women in video games. Female women
Female
in video
women.
games. Specifically, female women.
I think we should talk about female women.
All right.
Wow.
We'll definitely do that. Sounds fun.
Cool.
But we're gonna have to end this episode before we start that episode.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're getting into it right now.
Oh, we're getting to it right now?
Yeah, we're gonna
Wait,
film
oh,
4 episodes
no.
tonight because Ashley's tired.
I drove here too.
Yeah, so that'll be our topic for the next episode.
If we can stick to it.
Yeah, thank you all for listening because this is episode 3 now, and that's cool.
If you made it this far,
You're
we're
awesome.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you're
I'm
awesome.
saying I'm apologizing. You're saying we're awesome.
What are we apologizing for? This show's great.
It's all over the place.
So, a lot of great things are all over the place.
Touche.
And just remember, if you're having a bad day, there's always more universes to Spider. And thank you for listening. And don't forget to message CB over at Marvel and
Please
let
do.
him know. Silkify that universe.
Silkify that universe.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get that on a shirt?
Those are our first t-shirts we're going to make. Silkify that universe. And on that note, speaking of which, who do you think we're going to talk about on the female comic characters episode? You think Silk might make an appearance in that one?
Never heard of her.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you all about her.
I can't wait.
Me too. Until then, Excelsior!
Excelsior later.
Happy Halloween!
Oh, 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 oh.